Hey, it was Davo. What's going on, everybody? We have a new Camila and LR Coin Shop King is here. So let's go over their information and whatnot. So go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. So we got Camila first. Let's take a look at their banner real fast because that's the quickest thing. We got LR King, Ratatoskr Valenti, Roxia Madness, who's pretty good counter to Demiurge, but and that's it. For the rest of this banner, it looks pretty horrid. Chandler is okay, but everybody else is just absolute like dog poop. So let's get on to Camilla's translation. So this is King's. Let's go over Camilla first. So before unknown, and what surprises me, first of all, before I say anything, I did read translations. I'm gonna try not to be too negative, but long story short, I think King and Camilla are just like hot dog water, but I'm gonna try to maintain a positive attitude. So her passive, which is good, is you can run from the back line. So I mean, hooray, huzzah! I mean, the catastrophe team is finally getting built. Whoa, it's getting there. But increase basic stats of certain allies by 15% and grants protection, and increase max HP, critical resistance, and crit defense by 25% for one turn to certain allies with 4 or less special move gauge at the start of their turn. Specific allies are catastrophes and characters of unknown race. Protection is when attacked by an enemy, the attacking enemy move gauge will be decreased by 1 for one time only. So does she sound familiar, like y'all? Quite literally Nanashi. I mean, she's Nanashi in girl form. So I mean, W. You can write her, Nanashi on unknown teams, and I think Nanashi giving 30% basic stats. That's 45% basic stats. I mean, just off that alone, I feel like, although she is green, so Demiurge gets his hands on her, and she cooked. But her, Sabnok, and maybe even like, what's another unknown? This is like pretty good. You could say Balder, or you could just, I'm gonna go ahead and say Thor, but Thor is kind of falling out of favor for me, bro. But just to say Thor, Sabnok, her, and Nanashi. That's 45% basic stats alone, just from Camilla and Nanashi. So let's take a look at her skills. Her transform passive is once only at the end of the ally's turn, remove all debuff effects from the ally and grant themselves debuff notification. I can't see any instance where you would want to transform with her. I don't see a point, quite honestly. Just keep her on the field as she is, unless you can. Nah. Once her passive change, you won't have all these basic stats. So you might as well keep her. You might as well keep her base. I ain't gonna lie to you. But her first skill, Feral Pierce, deals 450% of attack and damage to a single enemy and reduces special move gauge by 3. Okay, so drain. And then Abyssal Claw deals fatal damage equal to 250% of attack to all enemies. Fatal is crit damage doubled. Y'all, these are good. These are good skills, but I kid you not. Oh my god, look at that card. Look at this, bro. Hold on, let me pull up her in-game substats. All right, let's take a look at the blue one real fast. She has cosmetics. Oh, they're almost fully maxed out. Should I? Yo, I think I might just go ahead and do it. I think I was like a massive sim for Camilla, like at one point in time in my Grand Cross career. So she got max cosmetics. I think that's why homie Yamcha, he was asking me what her CC was before he invests in cosmetics. But maxed out cosmetics, y'all. Here are her substats. That look good to y'all? 50% pierce, 56% pierce, 50% resistance, 76% crit resist, 182 crit damage. First of all, this is with like, oh no, this is with triple defense because I was a sicko, bro. I was a big sicko. So HP defense. Yo, look at the stats. 182 crit damage, 32% crit resist, 46% crit defense, lifesteal 28%. Oh my god, bro. Like, you see what I mean now? I feel like these skills are fine, but like critical, bro. Crit damage doubled. First of all, nigga, do you think she's gonna be able to crit? No, in no way in hell is she gonna be able to crit whatsoever. It's almost borderline pointless. This is like a spit in the face because maybe hold on, there is a chance that they could quite possibly, I don't know. they probably wouldn't mention it in patch notes, but they could buff her substats. But and then y'all know what she does. Transform and remove all debuffs and enemy buffs. Then reduce max HP by 6% for 3 turns for each enemy buff removed. I mean, I could see in no reality where you would want to transform with her. So when you do transform with her, she deals 360% of attack and damage to a single enemy, reduces special move gauge by 2, and removes 2 skills. So she deletes. Okay, W, and then deals slash damage equal to 300% of attack to all enemies. That's sever. And then her ultimate does 1260 in attack to a single enemy. So what's the point? I mean, just keep her in base. I mean, I feel like you'll get more use out of her. I ain't gonna lie to you. So moving on, if you want to hear my overall rating for Camila, I would give her, this passive is fine. This is all fine and dandy. But when you look at this, you tell me, you look at this and tell me you don't want to throw up right now. I promise you do. I promise you you're gagging right now. But if I had to rate a 1 through 10 or 0 through 10, I would give her like a 2. I kid you not. So I'm sorry if I may seem harsh, but I gotta keep it real with y'all. So moving on to the bread and butter of this update, LR OG Coin Shop King. Let me pull him up real fast just so we can take a gander at what his substats look like and whatnot. Let me pause it real quick. So it's going to be this king, and all this king does is just increase fairy allies by 8%. The good thing is this passive is can be ran like from the backline if you really so desired. So with his LR King, I'm assuming he can be ran in the backline. Let me go back to the update page. I think, well, it doesn't really show because they do this whole graphic for LRs, which is kind of like eh. But let's read into this information. So it went from 8% basic stats to increase the basic stats of specific allies by 20%. Okay, that's pretty big. And when you are in battle, grants a 40% reduction in critical resistance to all enemies. So like something like tier. For 1 turn at the start of turn of the ally's turn. That was kind of weird, but and if all allies in battle are of specific allies, your skills will rank up once at the start of the battle. Okay, cool. Also, if there is an enemy under the stone effect, the damage dealt by the specific ally will increase by 50%, and the damage received will be decreased by 40%. So I'm assuming if you're able to stun somebody, his allies do less damage to us if one of the enemies are stunned. It seems weird, like, why would I be able to take damage if the nigga is stunned? You know, when I first was reading, I was like, that don't make no sense. Like, he can't hurt me if he's stunned, but I believe it's like for the other enemies, like teammates, right? So if they were to do damage to me, we technically got a damage reduction and whatnot. So specific allies are fairies and giants. Unfortunately, if it was sins, I feel like that'd be so much better. The only real giant I can really think that's runnable is Queen Diane, the green one that came out earlier this year. Scotty is okay. Red Scotty's alright, but like, I guess you could get away with like some Scotty action because the more debuffs on them, the more they help their enemy. And Demir is just pretty much like every match in PvP anyway. Although Deanne is green and she increases basic stats and crit defense and stuff, so that might be pretty decent. Who knows? So moving back on, his first skill basically fossilization. No, that's coming back. You can't wait to hear that, can you? Let's just read level 3. It went from 250 to 275 of attack and it adds pierce damage 2 to a single enemy and petrifies them for 2 turns. Penetration rate is ×3 pierce, right? And then yeah, let's say it's 275. I'm assuming his substats will go up too, so this can actually hurt, yeah. So I'm assuming you stun, right, the enemy, and you want to have his ultimate too. We'll get to his ultimate, but like, if you stun them and follow up with an ultimate, I'm assuming it's going to do like devastating damage. But in an ideal world, you probably won't even be able to do all that. So moving on to the second skill. Harun God. Ooh, blast from the past. Y'all hear it? Can you hear the voice that King is saying? Let's read level 3. Recovers 50% of all allies lost HP, removes debuff effects, and increase HP related abilities by 20% for 2 turns. I could see this being useful for like PvE scenarios where you got to have like a lot of HP to get like points for like guild boss, what's it called, super boss, but what's it called, final boss, yeah, final boss and such. I can see this being helpful, and he's been good in that because cleanse and increasing HP related stats, that's pretty decent. And then moving on to his ultimate, let's just read the Fate ultimate because this is better in terms of damage. So give all allies 30% increase in attack related abilities for 2 turns. That's why I said you probably want to have a stun with his ultimate in the same turn. So if you can't stun the enemy, follow up with an ultimate, you're gonna have 30% attack related stats, and you're gonna have 50% damage dealt, and like I said, you got 20% basic stats too. And it's not like per each either, it's just like just increase your stats by 20%, not like 20% stats per, like we got Deanne and Glocks. No, we don't have 60, just 20% across the board for them. So all in all, King seems kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, what's his relic too? We got to talk about his relic because you can't just like leave bro in the mud. We got to talk about all facets of his like kit, right? Increase the hero's damage dealt by 80% when attacking a debuffed enemy. So he had 50, was it 50? 50% damage dealt and 80% here. So he got 130% damage dealt on top of having a 30% attack related buff. And at Fate Ultimate, it's gonna hit hard, 720, and it nullifies endurance rate. So I think that could hurt. With Shatter and it's attack related and 130% damage dealt, that seems ideal. And I could see him being like, maybe they do bring out something where you gotta like nuke or something like that. I could see him being there. I can honestly see him being there. It could be him, Green Deanne, given all those basic stats, right? And then who else? Some other giant that, well, we could take a look in game who supports offensively. You could do Green Elaine because she has an attack related buff too, but I'm assuming that's the same buff. Let me take a gander. Where is she? There she is. Everybody's beloved for some reason. 15, 20, 30. Yeah, so 6/6 is pretty much that. If anything, you can probably still use her if the enemy can be debuffed, because she does lower defense related stats. So I mean, it could work. It could work, ladies and gentlemen. So that's gonna do it. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think about LR King and the new Camila / Nanashi. If I had to rate King, I'm not gonna summon. Why did I go on this tab? If I had to rate King, I would give him maybe, I know a lot of LRs pretty much suck. The last good LR we had technically was LR Liz. I could see him being on LR Liz level because he got the cleanse. The only thing he doesn't have is like LR Liz is like Gageville, because it's very easy to get to cycle her ultimate. It's like stupid. Just ult, use her skill, and then you got her ultimate again. It's actually stupid. I could see him being like maybe a shade under her. Who knows? But maybe the only thing I could see aging him is the fact that specific allies are fairies and giants. If it was like Sens, maybe bro would be timeless, but like just this alone kind of like makes this whole kit sour for me. But so if I have to give it a rating, I'll go ahead and give it a 6 out of 10 because it could be better, but it is solid. So Camilla's what, a 2 out of 10, and King's a 6 out of 10. So that's gonna do it. Let me know what you rate the new LR Coin Shop King and Green Camilla down in the comment section below, and I'll see you niggas in the next one, man. Y'all stay good.